The Rajya Sabha passed the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners' appointment, conditions of service and term of office Bill 2023 amid the opposition walking out. Now, this bill will regulate the appointment, conditions of service and term of office of the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners and the procedure for transaction of business by the Election Commission. The bill actually further seeks to establish a committee of the Prime Minister, the Leader of Opposition in the Lok Sabha, and a Cabinet Minister nominated by the Prime Minister to select members of the Election Commission. Vasudha joins us with the latest update on this. Vasudha, now we know the new CEC bill was cleared in the Rajya Sabha amid the opposition walkout, but the bill was opposed vehemently by opposition parties who actually claim that it subjugates the Election Commission to the authority of the executive.
Of course, Parmeshwar, there is a Supreme Court judgment in March where the Supreme Court had talked about talked about a mechanism in which the CECs could be selected in India. Remember that we have a 1991 Act of the Election Commission, and there is no procedure right now to decide who the Election Commissioner would be. You know, it's mostly decided by the Prime Minister, along with his Council of Ministers, and the President sort of announces his appointment. But the Supreme Court had specified said that there needs to be a 4-member committee which includes the CJI apart from the Prime Minister and Law Minister. But of course, this the government says is the domain of the executive. It is domain of the government to decide matters like this, which is why it has not decided. It has decided to go ahead with its original provision in the bill of having the selection committee of 3 people, which is the Prime Minister, a minister nominated by the Prime Minister, which is mostly the Law Minister, and of course Leader of the Opposition. The opposition has basically said that this is 2:1, which basically gives the government, more say in appointment of the CEC. But other than that, there was also another provision which basically in some ways denigrated the stature of CEC to a cabinet secretary than as opposed to a Supreme Court judge. The service rules and service conditions and DA and salary were all regarding that. But that the government has it's come a notch lower on that, and it's basically said that yes, we will basically restore those service conditions now. The CEC will be equivalent to a Supreme Court judge, but the appointment, the selection committee is going to be exactly what the government wanted. The search committee, of course, will also be headed by the Law Minister instead of the Cabinet Secretary, and instead of course, so that one thing that the government has not really made changes to. But other than that, the government has incorporated many changes. And this is why the opposition has basically said that this undermines the autonomy of the polling body, because remember, Parmeshwar, that CEC also has to talk to politicians. He has to engage with politicians at the highest levels. So clearly they wanted the status to be equivalent to that of a Supreme Court judge, so that he's not taken lightly and the authority of the polling body is not undermined, which is what the government has tried to do, but clearly not compromising on the selection committee, which is also what the opposition had hoped for.